with the game ends, and it's the exact mirror image of the 1st of April 2023, the game that confirmed Maidstone's relegation, as if we didn't know it already. And the Stones have been supremely confident. Boreham Wood have been a great side, but they've just been blown away.
Yeah, exactly that, Darren. As you said there, it's almost 2 years to the day of the first hot take, and that was the 4-0 reverse here to Boreham Wood that confirmed our relegation. The Stones have turned that around today against one of their promotion rivals and put out a real statement victory on here at the Gallagher Stadium. And
yeah, with everybody beating everybody, in the top 7 and sides, like Worthing losing to Hornchurch and all the rest of it, I would imagine that there are 6, possibly 7 other teams looking at this result and going, wow.
Yeah, exactly that. It's a real statement performance. And
well, going through the game, the first 25 minutes, half an hour, I wouldn't like to have said who was going to score the first goal. We had a great save from Alexis Andre, a couple of decent attacks from Boreham Wood, and they were, almost there. But, you have to say that the game really turned on the first goal. Once that went in, you could see the confidence coming into the Stones players.
Yeah.
And the interesting thing is we did remark on the fact that there were very few tall players in this Boreham Wood team. And it was interesting that the first 2 goals both came from crosses onto the head of Sol Wanjao Smith. New centre half, maybe wasn't quite in the right place, or Reynolds didn't know where he was, and Sol Wanjao Smith managed to get in between them twice. A great flick on by Aweka and a great cross by Seaman. Stones found themselves 2 up, and then in first half injury time, of course, we had that corner, and as it was coming over from Ben Brooks, referee spotted something, we believe, against Aweka that he didn't like, and penalty it was. You could see Corn, Brooks, and as the players do their traditional jump towards the fans of the Genko end, most of whom have stayed behind, but you could see Corn, Brooks and Wanjao Smith perhaps looking for his hat-trick over it, but the steel and professionalism of the Stones just said has to be Ben Brooks. These 3 points are much more important than Sol Wanjao Smith's hat-trick, and so be it. So the Stones went in 3-0. Boreham Wood tried to launch at it at the Stones, but I think the game was up by then.
Yeah.
They played well. Sousa was excellent second half. It was almost like he was trying to do it all himself, but no doing with the substitutions. Obviously, Boreham Wood, the unfortunate injury to Josh Hare in the first half, but it was a consummate performance from the Stones, and let us be reminded, another clean sheet from Alexis Andre. A couple of good saves in the second half as well.
Well deserving of it, wasn't he? 21st clean sheet of the season for Maidstone.
Just to add, George Fowler got the 4th. Would I say that George Fowler was excellent defensively? Without that, I'd probably go that he was in the top 3 for my man of the match, although I would say that the whole Stones team, including the substitutes, we saw both the new in inverted commas for one of them, Berkeley Ajimpong and Willis, showed a couple of good touches. So a day where you could tell from the Stones fans and everybody around the organisation that it was of optimism, opportunity. Let's get this done. Let's be professional. But it takes a lot to play that out on the pitch, and that is just what they've done.
Yeah, they have, and it was a professional performance. I know we said at half time, didn't we, about the we expected a reaction from Boreham Wood, and Sousa aside, it never really came, did it? The Maidstone, were happy for Boreham Wood to play the ball across the back line, and just when they did come over the halfway line and through the second phases, we were closing them down in numbers and just limiting those gaps, and we never really let them get into their stride, did we? And when the opportunity arose, George Fowler got the goal. He's 5th goal of the season, 3rd goal on the bounce at home. So and it's good as well from the management's point of view. I mean, you work on all these plans, don't you? You know, you look at the opposition, and we've said it, you know, many weeks now. You know, everybody knows what Boreham Wood are about. You know, they've got Luke Garrard. You know, we've said what an experienced management team he's got around him, and you know how they're going to play. You know the experience they've got in their ranks. But for those plans to come to fruition, you know, it must be pleasing for the team. You know, and it just goes to prove that, you know, it gives confidence to the side, doesn't it? If you can, you know, you put a scoreline like that on the board, not only for like the rest of the league, but you know, going forward now, it just, you know, what George and Craig and that are doing with the team, it's coming to fruition. It's, you know, you can see that out on the pitch, and you know, everybody put 100% effort in here. We were trying to guess who would be the first substitute, and you know, Tom Lee, he went off first there, but you know, it could have, you know, everybody put that effort in, didn't they? You know, it was those small margins as well. You know, just like you say, just that professionalism around the penalty. You know, Ben Brooks is our penalty taker, and you know, the team comes first. It's all about getting as many points as you can. And you know, another good thing about today is we said it there on commentary. You know, that's going to boost our already good goal difference against one of the teams that are above us in the goal difference. So that's going to have a negative effect on them. And with it being so close points wise, you know, goal difference at the end of the season could be crucial.
So now they're important. Let's have a look at some of the results in a second. But just one more comment on that as the players are going into the dressing room now. Whilst the result was unexpected, certainly the effort and performance from the Stones and everybody. I mean, Tate Trusty didn't come on, but he could quite easily. The match was won really in the middle of the park. So we hardly mentioned Jack Payne, but we spent a lot of time mentioning Higgs Corn and Bivish Gurung, and even when we weren't, you could see that all three were working. All three were playing a disciplined game, which allowed the forwards to do what they needed and wanted to do, and actually having George Fowler and Temi Aweka up there, Aweka with an assist, Fowler with that second half goal just to really seal it. It just shows, and if we can play like that for the remaining 5 games, it won't be the remaining 5 games.
No,
it will be more.
Exactly that. So let's quickly have a look at the results then around the National League South. We start off with Averley. They lost 1-0 at home to Torquay. Cody Cook getting the goal there, 87th minute, so quite late goal there from Torquay. It was Bath 0, Hemel Hempstead 0, Chelmsford 0, Truro 0, so Truro dropping points against 10 men, Chelmsford. Early in the second half, Chelmsford went down to 10 men in the 49th minute. So
sounds like the game we played there.
Yeah, exactly. It was Chesham 4, Welling 1. Dorking 3, Eastbourne Borough 1. So Dorking went down to 10 men in the 16th minute when George Franklin was sent off. So that's a good morale boosting win for them at home, again, where they're not that strong recently in this season, but you know, picking up a good morale boosting win there against the promotion rival. It was Enfield 0, Chippenham 0, Hornchurch 2, Weston-super-Mare 4. Of course, Weston-super-Mare chasing the rest of them down in that 8th place, trying to get into that top 7s, and it's where Maidstone head next.
Well, as I said, Boreham Wood now looking over their shoulder at Weston-super-Mare. Not us at the moment. Although the 4-point parity is still there, there is one team between us.
Yep. So just worth repeating the game here. Maidstone 4, Boreham Wood 0. I'll say that once more. Maidstone 4, Boreham Wood 0. Not often it happens, so soak it in. Salisbury 2, Tunbridge 0. St Albans 1, Farnborough 0. Weymouth repeating our scoreline and beating Slough 4-0. And Worthing 2, Hampton Richmond 0. So 2 second half goals there from Worthing, breaking their sort of little mini slump they've been on. So what that all means for the league table is all teams have now played 41 points. So in 8th going upwards, it's puts Weston-super-Mare on 69 points. Boreham Wood in 7th on 71 points. Maidstone in 6th on 73 points. Eastbourne Borough in 5th now on 75 points. Torquay in 4th on 77 points. Truro in 3rd on 77 points. Dorking in 2nd on 77 points. And Worthing are still leading the table in 1st place on 80 points.
Well, still all to play for and still very, very, very close.
It is indeed.
You know, it really is better than could be expected, but there's still 5 games to go. But I predict that if we show the same professionalism, the same clinical in front of goals, we will do well, and we will climb, or at least hold our position. And of course, whilst first isn't impossible, it's very, very highly unlikely. So we need to get as high as we possibly can to get advantages in the playoffs.
Exactly that, Darren. And so we do move on next week, don't we, to Western-super-Mare. I believe you're on commentary with that with Chris Bedgeface. So join us on Stones Live and tune in where you get all your pods from. And we'll be doing the review on Wednesday. So look out for that coming out in the next few days. And as always, Darren,
come on, you Stones!